to my external CSS. So I'll say styles. I'll say asset first because it's under asset. Asset slash styles. Then my style.css. So I've linked it now. So now I can start doing my styling. So let me put this on one side here. And, okay. Okay, so let's start with our styling. So right now I'll just start with doing some I want to use a font style wiki. I want to teach you guys how we can import font style. Like if because there are some font style that we cannot use in our like using like in our documents. Like if I want to use Roboto. We have a font style called Roboto. So, sorry. So if I want to use Roboto now, let me say font family, right? There's no Roboto in this place. There's no Roboto here. So Roboto. There's no Roboto. If you search, there's no Roboto. You get Roboto. There's no Roboto found in our document. So you can just always go online and you can use Roboto or like you can download it, use a font style you like. So I'll go online and say Google Fonts. Google Fonts. Okay, so I'm in Google Fonts. I go online and I want to use a font style called Roboto. So I search what Roboto, Roboto, and you can see how Roboto looks like. So this is how Roboto looks like. Okay, and this is when Roboto is when it's look at it when it's 10, 100, 10 italic, and it's like this. So you can see all the style of Roboto when it's being used. Yes. So I want to use Roboto now. Go to get font. Okay. Then getting fonts now, I either download the font style or I can copy the code. So the two of them have differences. Okay. If I'm using the online one, that means I'm embedding using the link. I just link it to my document so I can use the font style. I'll be able to that one is more advantage because if there's an update in this font style, it will quickly update my code instead of me going back again to re-download the Roboto again, the new style or the new updated version of it in my code. Instead, I can just get the link of it, and anytime it's been updated, the link doesn't change. Rather, the maybe if they change it, you still maintain the link. You understand? So it's good to use this one. Okay, so we have either the link or we have the import. So this link one, you can place it. It will be placed inside your head tag. It should be placed under your head tag if you are using the link style. But if you want the head style, that means this one's going to be in your um, external CSS. So you just copy. Either you can put it in your hairstyle also if you want. Once you can put it in your head if you want, but it has to be under.
See your screen.
Can you see my screen? Let me stop share. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Hello, can you see my screen now? Hello, hello.
Me, I'm seeing your screen, but I don't know about
I'm not
Messi.
seeing your screen now. I can't see
Let's
your screen.
let's let's join again because I think Flourish can see my screen. Try and join again. Click and join again. I'm waiting for you, message. Can you see my screen now? Let me share again.
No worry, let's
Okay.
move on. Let me know when the class back. I need to go next time.
Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so we can use the import. You can either use the link or the import, but the link all of them has to. This one you don't need to put it in a external like you see we spoke about three types of style. Either you use an inline styling, uh, external styling or and internal styling. So internal styling now, if I want to use this, I can just copy this one and paste it here. So I'll be able to use that font style or any of the font style. Okay, I'll be able to use that font style, or I'll create a style here. Okay, a style here, and I have to copy this one. That means I can use this one rather, or I'll copy this side and I use this one. Okay, so you can see it's on that style, or I can just copy this um, export and I'll just put it in my CSS. So I don't need to create that style. I'll just copy it and paste it here. So me, I normally use this. I just paste it here. Okay. So now we can now use Roboto. Okay. So now I've downloaded the fonts now we can use Roboto anyhow we want. Okay. So let's go back to our code then. So after that now, the next thing I'll do is I'll create our basic styles. Okay, what I'll be using. I'll be creating some routes for our styles to be using. So for our routes, so this is I didn't teach you guys about this. This is be able to if you're using routes, it helps like able for you to instead of you like if you have if you want to use multiples of the same colors, right? Instead we can just create the root of what we want to be using our code. Okay. Then we can just be calling them using values or something. Okay, using the var. So you will see how I'll be calling those values. But right now I'm trying to create all my colors I'll be using throughout this thing. So you start with dash 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 and I name what I want to do. So I'm naming my first primary color to be so it's going to be hash for E5 7 G4. So and I have my primary hover. Okay. So this is if I want to hover. First primary hover. So this one is going to be dash 6 9 user DD. And my text secondary. So it's me just giving it a name, okay? So you can name it anything, but I'm trying to say my primary color will be this, my primary hover will be this, my text secondary will be. So you can name it anything, but it has to start with a dash dash. Then you name it what name you are giving it. C67 whatever G. Okay, and light color will be hash F8 F9 F8 and my dark color would be 212529 and my white would be hash FFF. One, two, three, and one more F. Yes. Okay. So black. The black will be 60. Six. And my shadow. I'm using some shadow. So my shadow is going to be 00.0.5 rem, then 1 rem, and an RGBA of 0, comma 0, comma 0, comma 0.15. This for my shadow. Let me make this view so that you can see it better. Let me view. Okay. So you can see it better. And I have a section value. So this will be my last one.
Sorry, like I'm seeing minus and minus. Like I don't understand. Is that like the preliminary before the writing?
Okay, because this one we're doing it like this is that normally when you check people code, they normally do this just because they don't want to. They have looked at their design already. So me, I've actually I designed this. Okay, using this, I will not need to do this. I'll just be designing it inside my HTML. So I've actually gone through the colors using CSS. You understand? Because I'm using an external CSS. So most of the times, people that are designing, they come up with all their codes they want to use, their colors they use. Okay, my primary color will be this, my hover will be this, my text will be this, my light color will be this, my black will be this. If they list all the colors they want, and they store it in a root. Okay, so anytime they want to use any of these colors, if I want to use one of them now, I'll just be like, um, oh, I want to create a button, right? I want to create a BTN, like a button, right? Maybe I give it a class name of BTN. Now I want to give my color for my button. So I'll just say, okay, maybe background color. Then I'll just say, now I want to use a primary color. I want to use this color. So I'll just say var. So I'll say var, then this dash. Then I can use any of them. Can you see? Can you see what the colors here? I can use anything I want. That means anything I've listed in my root. So I can see everything I've listed, and you can see the colors here already. You can see. So I'll use, maybe I want to use primary color. So now my button will be this color. Instead of like the normal way I told you guys, you have to now use this thing. Saying I'll just copy this thing. I'll just start using it like this, right? But what if I have multiples of this color I'll be using? Instead, I can just create a root to store all the colors that I'll be using, and I'll just be calling it by their name instead of using writing these colors over and over and over again. You understand? So that's why you see most of the time you see people having roots in their code, or they will create a CSS root for it, like you store all these roots. You understand? So I'm just trying to use some things that you'll be seeing sometimes so you don't get confused. You get. So as I'm saying, to create a root now, you just say the double quote sign, this is double colon, then root. Then now you have to use a dash dash before you give a name. You can name it anything, but it should be meaningful, you understand? Something that you understand. So now I'm using naming it. So this dash is just to combine the name. So remember I told you they have names of naming class and variables. So this is primary dash color. Instead I can just say primary color. You understand? Or but it's not good to just say primary color like this. You're combining two different things, right? So you have to either separate it or you use a comma case or anything. You have different types of naming it. Anyone do works, but standard is used to either use an hyphen, an underscore, a capital letter first or something. Yeah. So depending on your style, you understand. So you see people using different style to name their variable names. So you can name it anything. Okay. So you can see that this one doesn't have any combine, it's just white. So you have to start with dash dash and you can give the color. You can even give a padding, a size or anything. Mostly use it. It calls in your code. You understand? Hope that's clear.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, so now we can start. We can start the given the universal class by removing any space, any padding. So now we remove padding, we give it zero. Remove margin, give it zero. You see now it's shrinking, right? So I told you by default it does have a default padding and margin. Can you see? So if I put those things now, you can see all those things have been removed. So box item, product box, product box, and now the font family, I'll be using Roboto. So Roboto, so you see the font size will change. Can you see it has changed? Do you see it changed? So the font size has changed. and I'll use another font style beside it, just in case my browser is not able to fetch Ubuntu from Google Font style, from Google Fonts, then you'll be able to use sans serif just in case it doesn't show. Okay, so that's how I told you. When you see multiples of style, it means that if this one doesn't work, it will switch to this one. If it doesn't work, it will switch to any default one. Okay, so now we can start our body. Okay, body. So our body now we can give it a color of we can we give it give it let's give it text on secondary. So give it text secondary. We see our background color will change. Okay, just the color, okay, of our text. So that means all our text will be using this color. Okay, so let me just give you a line height so that each of the text have some kind of line height of 1.6. You can see now they are spacing some kind of spacing in between some elements. So now go back, we can go back and start giving class name so that we can start styling all these things. Okay. So we are giving this one a container, then we can give this one a class name. Let's give this a class name. Okay. A class name called logo. Okay. So logo and um, div, 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 okay, this one we give it nav menu. Nav menu. Okay. We give this one nav menu. This div. We give it a nav menu because we have list of menus, right? So menu and this u, I give it a class name of nav list, right? So we are giving it a list. We have to give it a class because we have to remove all these bullets. Let me shape this. Let me open this.
I did not hear what you said though.
Um, I said we are giving it a class name. Okay, are you listening?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So I want to give. Let me remove this piece. You see all these bullet points, I will have to remove them. Okay, so because when we are seeing this we don't have any bullet points, so most of the times the list we have to use a list. They use those kind of ul or ol to list them. Okay, but most of the time they use ul, so we list them and we later remove them. There's a way we can remove all these dots, so I'll show you how we can do that. So I'm trying to show you the line so you see it. If it goes back you can see the line, there are dots, don't worry. So I'm trying to give it a class name so that I'll be able to remove it from the UL you get. So after that, then we have to give, um, okay, so we have to give each of all our link, right? We have to give it a class name. So we can style it to get. So I'll give this one nav link, okay? So nav link, then I'll give it active. I'll give this another class name called active. So here you can give multiples of class name. So my first class name, if I want to target it, I can target because I want to give each of them the same class name. You understand? So for now, let me just copy and give each of them the same class name so that I can target each of them, all of them, at once. You understand? So each of them be having nav link, nav link, and nav link. So you can see here when you check on this, you can see there's an active something. You can see there's a light. So I want to give it that way. It will show me which side I am. So when I click on this side to know that I'm home. So you see this kind of active. You understand? So I will style it. So I'll give it a name, a class name called active. So I'll know where I am. You understand? So active. So now I'm having two class name. I'm having a name nav link and I'm having active name. So now we can start styling. Okay. So we can start our container first. Okay, so dot container. So container, we give it a width of 100%, right? 100%. Then we give this one We give it a max width. Okay, so usually I'm giving a max width. A max width is like if it reaches this maximum length, you understand? Like it's like you're trying to stretch this thing. So maybe the maximum length of this thing is 50. Okay. So if I extend it to more than 50, this content nothing will happen to it. You understand? So let me use an example. Let me show you something. Let me give it uh, 100 pixels. Let me show you something. Wait. Let me give it something that you see. Uh, so look at something. I want to show you something. Can you see that he has not extended? I gave it 100. I gave the width 100 pixels. So I gave it. If I remove this max length, let me remove it first. It will extend to 100. But now I'm giving it a max width that if it reaches 1,000 pixels, don't extend. You understand? So now you see that when I give it 1,000, 1,000 should be around this side. So immediately you expand your screen to 1,000 to stop, even though it reaches to 5,000, you will not see any red light again. Yes, that's why I'm giving it a max width. So if you see max width now, it has stopped here. So that means from here to here is 1,000. So if I'm shrinking my screen, now you can see it's full. So immediately it reaches 1,000, it stops. Can you see? Immediately it reaches 1,000, it stops. So by default, its width is 100 pixels, but when it reaches a maximum length of 1,000, the red light will stop here. You get? You understand? So that's one thing about max width. We also have min width. We also have something called min width. Min width. So min width is like when I reduce my screen to a certain amount. So if I say, um, let me see, 100 pieces. Um, so min width is like it's like when I'm reducing my screen to a certain something, like when it reaches 100, it will not shrink again. That means the content of it will not shrink. You see, I don't know you. So I get a solid example to use main width, then you understand how main width work. But most of the times, I'll be using my max width for now. Yeah, so I'll give it 1,040 pixels. Okay, I think that's the. I think that should be like almost the screen size because we are trying to give um, this thing. Okay, so let me just so for 50 pixels. Let me move this first. Okay, okay. So we give it a margin. Let me show a background color so we see what we're doing. Background color red. So I give this a margin. So I want to make it at the center. Okay. So I give it a margin of 0. That means up and down 0. But the auto that means it's going to be at the center. So see what will happen. It's going to be at the center. Can you see now it's at the center? So if I remove this again, it's not at the center. I bring it back. So the margin, top and bottom, that's the zero first. The first input, top and zero, that means up and down is zero. That means no margin at the top. So if I give this 100, there's going to be space at the top. Yes, please. Top and bottom now is 100. Yes, please. A question.
Okay, you shifted it to the corner, and I wanted to ask if you minimize your screen, will it also still like show a difference because now it's at the middle?
Yeah, that's in a large screen. It's in the middle. So now if
Eh?
I extend it now, we are not right now. It's in a large. If it's in a large screen, we can see it. That's at the middle. You get. But because now it's in a smaller screen, we will see it at the middle. We will see it at the middle. You get.
I did not get
Until
to. I did not get to.
this is why we're not seeing this at middle is because it's taking a width of 100%. So if I reduce this width now to 100, it's going to be at the center, even though it's at the small side. Can you see it's at the center in the small screen? But if I remove this now, I remove this margin auto, it's at the left side. You get? It's because so that means if I'm taking it in a smaller screen, I have to reduce the size. You get? But right now we're not doing mobile now. We have not started doing mobile. We're doing it for like laptop screen. So the laptop screen now is going to be at the middle. You get? Because I've given it a maximum length. Because I've given it a maximum length. So if I remove this maximum length now, can you see it's no more at the center? Okay. Oh, sorry, somebody called me. So do you guys understand what is happening here? It's because I've given it a maximum width. If I didn't give it a width, if I give it 100% now, I've given it margin and auto. It's not at the center. It's because now it's 100%. That means it's covering the whole screen. So no matter what, you won't see anything at the center. But now if I reduce this thing into maybe a smaller screen, small size, now if there's going to be a space, that margin auto will make sure that to divide that margin into a fitable size. You understand? So right now it's 100, so it's not going to put it at the center. So auto is like, oh, I'm trying to place it. That means, oh, you should give an equal space here, equal space here. So that means if this, maybe I've reduced this width. Let me remove this. Let me remove this width. Let me give a let me remove this margin. So I've given it a width of 1,400 pixels. So 1,400 pixels. So okay, that's the screen size. Okay, let me reduce it. 1,300 pixels. Let me continue reducing it. Now you can see now there's some space here. So if you use margin zero, that means up and down zero, and auto left and right, to make sure that it's going to adjust so that there's going to be space, even space here, even space here. So that's how you can move things at the center also. You get instead of using justify content and all those stuff. But that one is mostly used for elements. You understand, like inside all those kind of things. You will see we use justify content or those stuff here, flexbox and things. Right now, I want to move some container to make sure that it's going to be like in the center. Then it's good to use margin. You understand? So now if I use margin auto now, so margin zero and auto, it's going to make this going to be at the center. So now this has an equal space here, equal space here. So that's why you see when it shrink in a smaller screen, it's not at the center. It's not at the center because the width we gave it 120. If like we continue reducing this the size to a mobile screen size, then you are going to sit at the center. For a mobile screen, now we don't need it to be at the center. If you see this in a mobile screen, we give it a hamburger. That oh, if it reaches this kind of screen size, give it a hamburger at this side. So that's where JavaScript comes in. That it will hide all this our text. You see mobile screen, we don't see all these things. When you click on it, then you see all this home and all those stuff in it. But when it's in a larger screen, you see the the whole home section and all those stuff. You get. So when it's a mobile screen, there's some content you don't need to show. You get. So all those kind of things, we won't show it in our mobile screen. But right now, we're not going to mobile yet. When we go to mobile, we'll see how we can reduce it. You understand? So right now we're working with laptop screen. No problem. Okay, hope it's clear. Hope it's
I
clear.
noticed the thing removed the bullet points, like
It's
separated it
because
from the rest.
I've not removed the bullet points yet. It's because of this inside. It's like this side is covering it here. That's why I don't see the bullet points. I will show you how we remove it. Don't worry. We'll remove it using CSS. But I've not removed it yet. Okay. So it's because we are seeing it like this. We are not seeing the bullet point. When I open it now, we are seeing it. You get. So let's continue. Okay. So we are giving it a 100 pixel size. That means our screen is 100%, but when it reaches a screen of 1040 pixels, then it will not expand. You get. So now I give me a margin auto. So this margin auto now I can adjust it. I can say, oh, give it equally like 40 pixels. Now can you see it has given here 40 pixels, but here too it has given a 40 pixel, but like the problem is that I've given a width already. So it has already adjusted to this side because this side has 40. This side too has 40, but this 40 here is already small. You understand? So that's why I'm giving you auto. Auto means that you have an equal space here, equal space here. You understand? So you'll be able to push it unless you have to be using 40, 50, start looking where is it going to be at the center. You understand? So that's why most of the time you see they give here auto. Auto, that means it will adjust it by itself. And you see, so it adjusts there equal space here, equal space here. So remember when I was teaching you how to give space top and bottom. So this first one is top and bottom, zero, and this side is left and right. That's if you remember. Let's continue. And we give a padding. Okay. So give a padding, top and bottom. Give a padding, top and bottom zero. So the first top and bottom is zero. So now we're giving space inside our container. And our left and right we have one rem. Okay, one rem. So now can you see that this thing is a space in it now? This navbar is not touching the container. Let me remove it so you see. Before the navbar is very close to the container, but now with the padding now, it's because the way the image is like should even be touching. You can see the H S they are touching the container. So now if I give it a space now, one rem, now we can see they are no more touching the container. So that means they have one rem at the left and right, but at the top and bottom there's no padding because it's zero. So if I give here 50, you see that top and bottom now there's going to be space. Sorry, 50 pixels. Now can you see the space at the top and bottom? But now I don't need any space at the top and bottom. Okay, so that's why I'm giving it zero. Okay. Um, let's start our image. Okay, so we can just give our AMG image. We can give it a max width 100%. Okay, 100%. Let me see, can extend to 100. Right now, we're giving it a fixed width, so don't worry. Then we can give a color. No, sorry, height. The height should be auto. Let me move this thing to the side. So you see auto. Okay. So I'm just giving any image. Well, when we start sizing our image, you see all those things. But now I'm just giving all this thing in place. So now anchor link. Let's turn an anchor link now. So this is where I'm going to remove this thing. This dot you are seeing, I'm going to remove it now. So that means, you see, let me show you. So text decoration. So to remove all these things, it's called text decoration. You can see dotted, double line, and all those stuff. So when I say none, okay, sorry. Rather the underline. I just remember. You see, we can see some underline in it. You get because if it's an anchor link, you always see this kind of underline. Okay. So now to remove this now, you just say text decoration none. It will remove the underline. If you want dotted, it will be dotted. So you'll be having some dotted line. But right now I don't think it works here. But I think when you are using a border and other stuff, you see those things. But now we are saying none. We don't want any decoration. So that means it's zero. That means you can't see any underline in it. Then we can give it a color, the color of inherit. Inherits. So is so this inherits now is like is going to copy the it's going to inherit the background, this color that we're giving it. This is inherit our body. So inherit is like you see how maybe your parents your parents is your like is the head, you understand? So now the child is inheriting the parents' class, that means the character and all those stuff. So this anchor tag is inside this body. So now it's inheriting this color that I've given it first. You understand? So that's what we use inherit to do. So instead of me giving it the same color, I can just inherit. So you inherit the family. You understand? So that's why I see some hash. You get. So if I give this green, it's tone green. Can you see? So it's inheriting the family. That's the body. The body is the whole family. You understand? Just give me a second. Hello guys. Hope you guys understand what's happening. If you don't understand, please let me know. Please, I want you guys to do this, but if I see you guys to do it, I just want us to be a bit fast. That's why I'm trying to do it, and I want everyone to follow up. That's why I'm asking one or two questions. So do you guys understand what's happening? Please, because I will tell you guys to do this using you guys. Everybody will do this. You're supposed to know how to do this. That's why I want everybody to understand this. I'm doing it for you. I'm helping you guys to do it. Normally, I will tell you guys to do it. The evidence to see I'm giving you guys the hard assignment. Now I'm doing it for you to see it. So if you guys don't understand it, it's going to be a problem because you should be doing navbar in every website you're doing will have a navbar. So you have to understand what is happening. Do you guys understand what is happening? Do you guys understand what is happening?
Yeah. You know.
Are you sure? Are you guys sure?
No.
So what don't you understand? Tell me what don't you understand? Messi, please tell me what don't you understand?
I don't understand the. My guys, I don't understand the when you said something about the padding and the margin. I don't understand
Okay.
when the yeah, that's the part I don't understand.
Maybe I think maybe let me have to look for a diagram for you
Sorry.
to understand this. Let,
That's why I always get lost.
let me show you. Don't worry. I hope it's going to be on the sample. So I think maybe if I have this an image, can you see? I'm looking for an image. No, not this. Oh, and, oh, that's what I'm looking for.
You know what? You can go on. You need to explain it to me, or I'll ask later when I'm practicing.
Aha, this is what I'm looking for. Something, something like this. So, um, let me see if I can open this. So, I see this on your LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. See, aha, look at this. Messi. Messi, are you listening? Messi.
Sir?
Messi, are you listening? Imagine we are doing margin padding. when you are using margin or padding, you have something called top, right, bottom, and left. Top, right, bottom, and left. Do you understand? Let me see if there's another one. So you can see margin gives you space where outside. Can you see they say outside space? So it gives you space outside your content. While padding, what does it give you space? Inward spacing. So it gives you space inside your content. Can you see? So when you are trying to give, so the best time to use margin and padding, I told you that you use margin when you want to separate two different content. Maybe there's another box that is under here. So the best thing to do is to give a margin. So the margin will give space where outside the content. Like if you have a content like this inside, you have different elements inside your document. The best thing to start giving space is using padding. So padding is used to give space inside content. You get, but many people they use padding to give space between two elements. Is wrong. To give space between two, like maybe two different tags or two different container, is very wrong. Don't, you never use padding to separate two different things. You rather use padding to separate two different elements. That means your brother and sister, you are giving thank you, your brother and sister, you use padding. That means you are giving space between your family. But outside that, you use margin. You get, so maybe people that you don't know, they are not related, then you can use space outside. But people use padding for outsiders and use margin for insider. It doesn't make sense. You get, so margin is for outsiders, padding is for like inside. You get, that's the two different the meaning of them. So now trying to see if they give another. Uh-huh. It's coming. Still, it's not still what I want. Okay, it's not still what I want. So now, when you are coding, when you are coding, if you give margin, if you give, wait, let me, there's an image, hold on, coming. There's an image here, hold on a second. One second, I'm trying to, a very good image I saw that I wanted to share it in the group, I forgot. So I knew that you had some misunderstanding with, or still confusion with margin and padding. I saw it somewhere that explained it very well. An image that you see how it works. Coming. Give me a second. Because if I go further and I'm using this thing, because I'll be using margin and padding a lot. So if you don't understand it, there's no way for me to go further. Understand? So I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Because if you're not on the same page, you'll be in trouble. Um, yes, please.
Okay, just so I'm following, you said that padding is for the insiders and margin is for the outsiders.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but you don't understand how they give the spacing. Like if I want to give a margin top, how does it affect? If I'm trying to give a margin top and bottom and give a margin left and right, how does it affect? You don't still understand how those work. So I'm trying to look for, I've seen it. Exactly. So I'm coming, give me a second. I'm trying to, maybe, maybe, uh-huh, exactly. So let me, uh, let me screenshot this and then send it send it to it. So, so um, save this so you see it. So now this is how you make you understand it better now. How this you are seeing zero here, you're seeing auto, you're seeing zero, you're seeing one rem. You see how it works? Let me show you. Let me show you the image. So now, like now, if I want to give a a space, so now this is padding. So padding, margin, all of them works with the same numbers and all those stuff. So I want to give. We have A, B, C, D. So remember, we have A is top, B is right, C is down, bottom, and D is at the left side. So if I want to give space at the top, right, left, right, and top, right, bottom, and left. So I want to give my top 10 pixels, 15 pixels, 10 pixels, 15 pixels. So now that's what the person has done here. So this is what if I want to do that, I'll give my padding, padding. So my top, my first element is A. So that's the one that is showing A. So my first top, that's top A is 10 pixels. The second one is B, that is the side. I'm giving it 15 pixels. The next one is C. C is the bottom. I'm giving it what? 10 pixels. I'm giving my left side, that is D. I'm giving it 15 pixels. That's what I've done now. Giving space, A is taking 10 pixels, B is taking 15 pixels, C is taking 10 pixels, and D is taking 15 pixels. That's how it works. Now, if I want to give, sorry, let me try to zoom this thing. Uh, zoom. Oh, how do I zoom this thing? Go back. So now, if I want to give only space, I want to give space to the top right. I want to give space to my top right, top and BB. I want to give. I want maybe my A and C. Can you see A and C has 10 pixels? I want to give my top and bottom 10 pixels. My left and right, I want to give it maybe 10, 15 pixels. But yeah, maybe they normally I'll just giving it 10 and 15. You understand? But this one I'm giving it three values. So I want to give 10, 15, 10. So that means the first 10 is going to give at the top. The 15 will give left and right. And this third input will be working at the bottom. So I can give 10, 15 for both sides, and yeah, 20. You understand? So that's what's happening here. So maybe do you understand what's happening now? So now if I want to give um let me show you. Maybe I think maybe I should be doing it at the same time explaining it. So let me come outside from this now bar and give a container and give dash space. We are talking about space, right? So I give a div called maybe uh, okay, we can use this one. We can use this one, no problem. We can use this one. So now I'll reduce this width so we see it very well. Give it 100 pixels. No, 100 is too much. It's too small. Give it 400. So we see it very well now. Okay. Let me remove this margin so you see it better. Okay. So now we can see now we don't have any space. Like it's just the contents at this side. Now we are trying to do this thing. We're trying to implement giving A 10, 15, maybe yeah 30 and 40. So now we understand that the first input is for A, that's the top. B is at the right side, C bottom, and D at the left side. So what I'll do now is I'll give margin. So margin, so I want to give rather I won't give margin. Remember we're trying the content is inside, so I'm giving padding. So padding. So my first top, the first top will take what? 10 pixels. The second one will take what? Right now it has given 10 pixels everywhere. Let me remove this underline so we see text decoration. No. So we can see why is it not working? See now you let's say li. Um, okay, it's not working out, but anyhow. Um, I give here 20 pixels. Now I give my third one 30 pixels and the last one 40 pixels. So this one is A. What's happening? What's it not showing? Let me give a bigger space. Let me see. Uh, 50. It's because of the width I given. Let me reduce. What am I doing? I'm giving two padding. Episode. So now we can see it. So now what's happening now is that A, the first one is what is A, and A is at the top. The second one is B. B is 20 at this side. It's because the content is small. I would have seen the space here 20. The third one is 30. That is C. C has 30. Then 40 is here. That's D. So now that's what we have done here. Okay, so A, B, C, D. That's what we have. We see how they give it like this. So the next one is A, B, C. So that means we want to give. I want to give this top and bottom or 50 pixels, and I want to give. Sorry, I want to give top 50. I want to give left and right maybe 40, and I want to give down 30. So what I'll do now is I'll just give it three. So now I'll just remove this. I'll just remove this one. So now what's happening now is that 50. Can you see 50 is at the top, 20 is at the left and right. Let me increase it so you see that left and right will increase. 40. Can you see shifting it? 60. So it means that this side is 60, this side is 60. So that means we have we have B 60, we have B here 60. So now the last one C, C is the bottom one. So the bottom one has 30. So if I increase it now, you see that I'm pushing it up. That 30 to pushing it up, 50. You see now it's rather extending it. It's rather pushing this one down. Can you see? It's pushing the margin. It's giving more space down. Can you see? So now this tells you that this is A, this is B, and this is D. So ABC, sorry, ABC. So this is A, and this is BB, and this is C. That's how the tree works. Can you see? So now if I want to give space, I want to give two things. I want to give two space. That means I want to give my up and down, my up AA, up and down will have the same space. That means 50-50, and left and right 60-60. So I don't need the third one now. I just give here 50-50, 60-60. So up and down is 50, left and right is 60. That's how this tool works. So now you can see here that AA, let me zoom out so you see. So AA is 10 pixels, BB is 15 pixels. Let me zoom out. See it down. Okay. Can you see? So now if I give only one, it means that all throughout is A. That means the whole will take equal space A. I don't know, Messi, you understand this. Because if you don't understand this, I'm finished. Uh, because I've gone online to search this stuff about margin, about how these numbers works. So do you understand it? Do you understand it?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Thank you
Are you
very
sure?
much. Yes, I do.
I was, so I'll put it in the group so you can still use it to reference when you're using those things. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Don't worry. No problem. Okay, so let's continue what we're doing. Okay. Okay. Um, so now we keep our this one inherit. So it's inheriting the family, right? Inherit. Inheriting the family. At that color we keep it at the top. Right. Then the next thing I'll do is I'll give the UL. I just remember this. So UL. So now we're targeting what? This UL. Okay. Now we want to remove this dot dot. So I'll give it what? List style. So just remember list style none. You see now it has removed that dot. And you see the dot is no more there. Are you guys seeing it?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay. So now we can start doing our navbar. Okay. So all these things are navbar, right? So let me just start designing our navbar. Let me give a non CSS navbar. Navbar. So now this is where the real working starts. So now I'll start my dot navbar, right? Uh, did I give? Okay, I didn't give it a class name. I didn't give my navbar a class name. So I'll give it a class name. Now navbar. So now this is where I'll make it now. I'll start making it like this. I'll make it like this, guys. Okay. So now this is where the magic works. Okay. So let's focus here now, please. Let's really focus here. Okay. So now sorry. So now dot number. Mhm. Then um, I can start using position. So I'll use position fix. Position fix. That means to be. You can see that when we go round. You see when we hover like this, you can see it is in a fixed position. So remember I told you guys about position. So fixed means that it's going to be in one position. Okay. So position fixed. Now I can say top. So the top will be where? Will be at zero. It will be at zero. Bottom, bottom zero. Then right zero. Sorry, I've removed. Let's see if you want to move it to yourself. So you understand what's happening. Do it fixed. Help me with other pieces. Last with margin. So mm-hmm. So it has a bit of 100 pieces. So image message a standard. Okay, I see what happened. So text align center. No, sorry. What do I say? The left zero. Sorry, left. Aha, better. Okay. So my mistake was I said bottom. Okay. So this one is like I'm positioning it. I'm positioning that it should be at the top. I mean the top should be zero. You understand? I'm trying to move all those spacing. I'm trying to move all the spacing that is given. So left is zero. When you move it, then the right will be zero. So it's going to be side only the bottom. The bottom is not zero. That means you'll be able to go bottom, but the left and right and all those are zero. So left zero, right zero, top zero. So that's I'm positioning it at where I want it to be. That means the margin. You get. So I fixed it at the middle already. So I'm trying to move any position that it will be. So the bottom now, if I hover around it, the bottom will still be fixed. So it means that the top, left, right are zero. That means I can position it using my width and max with what I've done here, right? So if like I've said, left 20 uh, pixels or something like that. How do they even use this? 20. Let me stop. Let me see where to go to. Can you see it has pushed it to the top? You can see. So, but I'm trying to remove any top, any space at the top. You understand? Because I'm making it fixed. So it means that it will be fixed at the top. It will be zero. So when I'm moving up and down, there's no space at the top. You can see that it's in one position when we are hovering around it. So the top, left, right, they're not moving.
Recording is on.
Come again. Come again. Please come again.
I was saying I understand.
Okay. Okay. So now we can give our background color. Okay. For our nav bar. So I can remove this red. So I can use the one I want. Okay. So I'll remove this from the container. So remove the container now. So let me give it the color I want. Okay. So I can give it bar white. Okay. So I give it white. So it's not plain. Let me give it a box shadow so we see it. Yes, um, give it a box shadow. Right now we're not seeing it because it's still blending with the white. Box shadow, box shadow, then 0, 15 pieces, 25 pieces, then RGB. So this one's going to be uh, 0. 0.8. 0.8 should be okay. Yeah, so we can see the box shadow now. Can you see the box shadow? Right. So we give it a Z index. So remember, I told you guys said the Z index means that it has more priority. That means with the Z index, we are able to move these things on top other elements we get because of the Z index. So so I'll give a Z index of maybe 1000 just in case, and I'll give a padding of on the top and bottom we'll have one rem, right, and left and right to be zero. Okay. So now the next thing for us to do is to move this element to be in a straight line. So who can help me do that? How can we move this element in a straight line using flex? Yes, please. Yes, please. Flourish.
I'm not answering the question. I'm asking the question.
Okay, okay, yes, I'm listening.
Okay, so what does the Z index mean?
So Z index is like you're giving something more priority. Okay. So it's like
I was
you're saying,
asking what does the Z index mean?
yeah, Z index is like you're making something more priority than another. Like you're overriding some priority. It's when you're coding, you have something more priority than another. Like it's just like you're a sibling. You have siblings. Your senior has more priority than you. You get. I mean, it's more older than you. But like in some case, some mother can say, "Oh, my junior born I love him more than the senior one. That's when he has more things than you. That's she dictating who she wants to be the most favorable person you get. So that's what we're doing here also. We're using Z index to override who is more priority. So that's with that Z index, we are able to over around this thing. Because I remember we did this in a position when normally I told you that after absolute, after we have absolute and we have relative. So relative has less priority, absolute has more. You see, so we overrided it that relative should come up and absolute to be down using Z index. So that's what Z index can do. You get, so we are giving this thing more priority so that you'll be able to hover around anything, so you can pass through anything. You get, so if this one is less, we can make this image come above this thing. So if I give this image more priority, this navbar will be covered. with this image. But now this navbar has more priority. That's why this navbar is covering all these things. So you can hover around all these things with ease. You understand? We'll try it when I give an image
Yes,
here.
I understand.
You see how it works. Don't worry, you see it better.
Okay.
Okay. So now, hope you guys understand
Alright.
where we have reached here. Hope everybody understand.
Well, why did we use a value of 1,000? Like, does the value mean anything?
Yeah, the value means something. If I have an I just gave it 1,000 just to be. I don't want to look for anywhere that I give it less because if I give it one, I give it one, and maybe when I'm coding,
Mm-hmm.
I might have a place that I'm giving something two. Maybe just because I'm maybe using
Okay.
some kind of something overlapping each other and I'm giving it two. This one will not be able to pass through that two
Yeah.
because it has less priority. You understand? So I'm just giving it. You can give it anything though.
Alright.
100 you get. It's just me just giving 1,000 for safe measures. You get. I don't want anything to
So, like,
be
the
under
Z
it.
index is to make it look like a relative.
Come again.
I said, so the Z index is to make it work like a relative position or something.
It's not like it's making it work like a relative song. It just makes it stack on top something. You get. Like it can be on top another element. You get. So it's like you're trying to say who has more seniority, who can be on top who. You understand?
I understand it now.
Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Okay. Now we want to make this home service about to be in a straight line so that this one will be here and the other one will be at the other side. So we have to give a flex bus so that all this container now will move to be at the left side. So they will not be on like this now, they're on top each other. Now we want it to be beside each other. So we use flex, right? That's where flex comes in. But I told you how to use this. So how can we do that? So I need someone to tell me. So I'm using navbar, then container. So I'm going to navbar, then container. So space dot container. So you can tell me how I can do this now. Please, I'm waiting. You can tell me how I can do this.
You just put display flex.
Okay, display flex. Now they're beside each other.
Then
Now I need the space in between them. How will I do that?
justify content space between.
Correct. Space between. Now we can see one is at this side, one is at this side. See, we have achieved this part. One is at this side, one is at this side. It's not that we have to give inside this container another flex box so that it will be at the bottom. You get. So you see how it's working. You understand? So now with this, now we can just give just for it to be at the center. You understand? Just give a line item center. Okay, so that we know our elements will be at the center. So let me remove it. You see that it's not at the center. Well, maybe I bring it now. It's at the center. So remember the why we're making. We are using the cross axis, right? So that's the vertical. So now it will make it at the center, at the vertical way. You understand? So now we will have to go to nav list, right? So we gave each of them what called nav list, right? Nav list. That's the container for the list of them. So dot nav list. Then what display flex. Let me move it at the side so you see it to be at the bottom. So now so display flex. Can you see why now we're using container? Do you understand why we are using all this container now? Let me go back.
Yes, I
Yes, I
understand
do.
now.
Yes.
So let me go back. Let me go back. I'll show you why if we didn't use a container here, that means we didn't separate it. You see how I designed this thing? I told you now we use one image. This image is like its own container, and this one has its own div. You understand? So now if you are using Flexbox now, if this one didn't have a container, let me remove the container for this one. You see what will happen. So this UL now, I remove all this one. Yes, I remove all this thing. So it's just having a list. You understand? Now we are having only nav bar. as one of the main container here, right? The nav as its container here, and we're having what the anchor link as containing this one, right? And the next thing we have is that we just have list. Look at what happened as we said display flex. Look at what happened. Can you see now they are not grouped? We want these ones to be in one side. That's why you see why I told you that we have this one as one container. So if we separate both of them, this one has its own container already. So if it's even scattering, it's going to be inside its own container. But now it's in one list now, so I've given it flex, display flex, display flex, and we have given it space between. Now it has given space in between each of them equally. But now that's not what we want. You understand? So now with that, what the best idea is to make this one container, so that if I say display flex space between, it will push this one in the right side, but all of them will be inside one container. So that's why we have this one as a div. We have a div there. We have a div there. That's why you see why it's good to use div. You see, so we have a div here separating it now. So this one now it has pushed them. So space between means that there are going to be space in between the elements. You understand? So if we have another element here again, let me say I copy this. Now we are going to have an element in the middle. You see now, this one will be pushed to the middle. Can you see now we have another element at the middle? So it has divided it into three space, one and this space. So because it's two now, it will separate it into two equal space. So one will be at the left, one will be at the right. But if we have three, it will separate it. One will be at the left, middle, and right. If you have another one again, it will make it evenly. You see with div, we are doing it possible. You understand? You see now it has separated it evenly. You get? You understand? So now instead of us doing something like now, we have one div for home, one div for service, one div for about. Instead, we can just group it in one. And now you have to now go inside one of the div, right? Inside one of the div here. That's the nav list. Inside this nav list, and just give it display flex, right? Display flex. And now it will be like this now. Now we can give space between them. You understand? You see how it's good to use all those things. Now we can give a gap. You can use gap to give equal spacing, right? 1.5 rem, right? Now we have spacing in between them. And you see now we are doing this. So you see sometimes you see some nav list, they have some things at the middle. So it depends on how you want to create. Sometimes you're using nav. So it's your design you get. So with Flex, you're able to design it how you want. So you get a lot of nav designs out there. You get a lot of nav bar
Sorry,
designs.
sorry. Even
Yes,
this
please.
Google one, isn't it a nav bar? You can see your
Which Google?
profile, the lab
Yes, this
experiments
Google
and
is a
stuff.
nav bar. Exactly. So this is what the Google used the same way we did it. So what the Google did was that this image now, this icon is one div. You understand? That's like using just the icon. I was using this as like this, how we did it like this. So it has one container called the anchor link. You get now he gave another div containing the search icon, and he has another div having only these three things because they are together. So that's what we just did here, doing adding another item here again. If you have another div here again, another div here, so another div here. So now you see one will be at the middle. You get so that's what they just did here. That's exactly what they did. So let's maybe you want to push it now, you give a margin minus negative. So you start let it be at the left side. You understand? So I'll target it and give it a negative way. Or what they did is that they combined both of them in one div and combined this one in another div. But they made this one very long so that it will reach. You get there are multiples of ways you can do this. It's like if I'm the one doing this, I might just give this one and this one to be in one div, and this one and this one in one div. But like I'll make sure that this one is very long. You see, they made this one very long to the width. So, but both of them are separated. You get so you just have to design how you want to design your thing. That's why you have to be very good at design. You understand? Yeah. So you see how I designed it here. You understand? I know that I want my icon here and I want my home and all those things to be this side. So for me now, I have to separate these ones from this one. So I can use flex to push them. If I didn't give a container here, you saw what happened. You get you get how we use all this div. You understand? You get you guys get to
I get it.
Yes, thank you.
okay, good. Good. So now we can start. Let's design our nav link. Okay. So this nav, each of them, this class name is nav link, nav link, nav link. So I just want to design each of them, right? So I'll just design all of them. So nav link, that'll be class name called nav link. You can see I'm using dot because that's I give them a class name. So nav link, I'm giving each of them a padding. So I'm giving what the up and down should be 0.5. So I'm just trying to reduce it 0.5 frame. And I'm giving the left and right 0. Okay. Okay. So given this one position relative, just given the position relative and a font width of 500. Okay. So I don't really need this though. I'm just giving it relative though, just to be okay. But I can remove it though. Not necessary. Yes, please.
Hi, sorry. For the position relative, is there a general like if you want to create the container, you know that you're supposed to use position relative and the rest. That position relative.
Uh, this, okay, it all depends on what you want to do. Okay,
Or
it's
you can
not
use
when
something else.
yeah you can use something else. No, no, if you are creating something that involves to stack each other, you have to use relative, absolute, and all those stuff fixed. You understand? So it's just like I've given this thing as fixed. This container is fixed. You understand? So it's like the parent. So relative is just like it's just on top it. So you can give the things that are on top it. You can give it relative. You understand? So it's like you have a family, you are giving it fixed or you're giving it absolute or anything. You get so you can now place things on top it. Because I've given it fixed, I can just give it relative just for it to just be on top it if anything happen to it. You understand? But I don't need if I don't give it, I don't know if the text will follow it though. But most of the times you can give it just relative just in case. So if I have the absolute, then I have to give the thing that's going to be on top it relative. You understand? Because it's related to it. If I give this fix, if something I'm being placing inside it, I have to give it relative so I can fit inside or something like that. You understand? So I'm giving this thing fixed, so I can give you a relative just in case. You understand?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So that's why I'm just giving a relative. The relative first. Bring it up. Okay. Um. Let me see. What else? Okay. Okay. Let's make it. If I hover around it, something will happen. Okay. So I'll give a hover. This one I'm not to get something. So this one I click. Okay. We have something called okay the active. So when I click on it, anything you have sometimes when we click on some link to show blue. You understand? It means that we have visited it. It means that it's active. You understand? So that's why I give that place active. So any place that has been active, let me show you. So dot nav link dot active. Understand? So what will happen? The color, let me give you the color. Color bar tiny hover. Tiny hover. So you see now because I click on home, it's active. I go to this side. Um, let me see. Did I give each of them? You give it a hash. That's the reason. Give this a hash. So it takes them back to the site. So hash means is that it also want to take them back to the same page. Okay. I click this. Alright, that's not working. Okay, it's only working for home. Okay, okay, okay. I remember now. Because I gave this nav, remember this nav link active. You understand? Nav link active. You see the class name, the second one, class name. So it means that I'm giving it a color of what blue. So if I move this one, I give another active here, active, right? It will move, this one to have blue, you get. So it's because now I'm targeting the active, that means I'm in home, you understand? So unless when I go to my service page, I create another page. So when I go to another page now, I go to service page, a folder called service page folder, and I link it to that service page folder. Then now the next thing is I will move this active. I'll move it down here. So it's not going to be in home again because I've gone to service. I'll move active here. So now it means that I'm in service. You understand? So that's when if I create another page, I'm linking different page to another page. Like let me show you something. So maybe like I'm just talking with them. I create another page called services.html. Okay. So services.html means that I just copy what I've done here and I paste it here. Okay. I paste it here and I go to my index page back and bring back the active at the home. Okay. Now how will I link this index to this service page? I'll just change this href to service.html and I go to my service.html and I change it back to index. So that means if I click on index, you take me back to index.html. So now look at what will happen now. I click on this, I'm in service page. I click on this, I'm in home page. Do you guys see the magic what's happening here? We're in index.html page. Look at it at the top. If I click on this, I've linked it. Remember I told you how to link things in your file. So your href now, I've linked it back to my index.html. And I've also linked this HTML to my service.html. So it means that when I'm in index page now, if I click on service, it will take me to this page. And in this page, I've moved active to services. So when I click on services now, it shows that I'm in services. You can see now services.html. If I click home, it's taking me back to index.html. You guys see what's happening?
Yes,
Do you
yes, we
guys see what's
can.
happening? Okay.
Yes, we can. Me.
So right now, it's you guys that will do this yourself. I'm not creating any another page. I'm just doing this so that you guys, when you're building a full website, you have to create multiples of pages. You understand? And you have to make sure consistency. You can see I'm using the same nav bar. You understand? So you just have to. There are some things you don't even need to repeat. You just copy the code and paste it there. Yes, please. Yes, please.
About the nav link active, so is it that anytime how we now be interchanging it because you just put active in each of the classes? So does that mean we are not like running the page and like we cannot be changing the active all the time? So how will we do it? The active part.
So what you do is that what I did is that in my home page I've created, you can see I've done nav link for each of them, right? We have the same
Yeah,
nav link.
I
But
understand that part.
only the unique thing we are seeing now is that home has active. So this one I give it active, it means that in this active I'm giving it a color that it will tell me which place I am. You get. So I've styled active towards. I've given it priming color. Yes, a nav dot active. You get priming color blue purple. So it means that when I'm in home, it's showing I'm active. So when I've created another page, I've created another page called services.html. It means that if I go to this page, now I've created, maybe I have another services page. You see, when you have website, you see they have different pages. You can see that when I go here, this I've not created anything. How you can see, I've gone to services. Can you see now that the active I've moved there? If I go to home, this is another page. It has its own thing. You get. I've gone to contact. It has its
Okay, I
own
understand
contact
now.
things. So now
Yeah, I
moving, what
understand.
I'm only doing is I'm just moving the active to where I am. So now if I copy this number, I'll just paste it here. It's the same nav bar, but it's not going to be active in home. You get. So the active now will be moved to where service. So that's the only change I just made. So if I have another page in about, I'll just move the active here. You get. So it will show, it will
I
just indicate where I am.
understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So let's continue. Okay. So now after that we can let me see what can we do next. Go back to my CSS. After. Okay, let's create something else. Let's create something called let's create this nav link, and we have something called after. So we have something called after. Okay, it means that what will happen when something happen. You understand? So let me do something. Let me put something here. So hold on, let me remove this. Let me leave it. Let me leave it. Hold on, let me leave it. Let me rather put. Mm, what else? What else do we need to do? I think we are done with this. I think we are done with all this part. Unless we just want to make it a bit bolder. You understand? Let's make it. Let's make okay. Let's reduce the width, the height. I think the height is too much. Just above the height to be maybe 200 pieces. 200 pieces too much. Don't. Uh, 90,
70.
70. 70 is too much. Okay, 50. Okay, 50 is 50 okay. Okay, I think 50 is okay. Okay, 50 is okay. So now we can go to our this hero section. Go to our hero section now. We can create this hero section. Okay. So now we are going back to our HTML. So I'm doing it step by step for all of us so we see what's happening. So now we what we do is that I'll just specify a hero section. Okay. So hero. Most of the time this is called hero section. Okay. This thing is called your hero section. When you see this kind of welcoming something or the image there is your hero section. Okay. So now that's what we want to do. So we create a section. Okay. We create a section, and the section we'll give it an ID. Okay. Give it an ID called hero so that we know that it's about our hero section. And we'll have a container. Okay. This is going to be our container, our class called container, container. Then let me see what I'm going to do next. Okay. Let me give another div. Let me just give another div in case. And div. Okay. Because I want to do some things here. You understand? So let me just give this code hero contents. I'm just trying to see if I'll remove it or not. Well, I'm just trying to see something. Hero content. Then okay, now start styling. Start styling, giving H1. We give H1 saying welcome. Let me move this at this side so we see what we're doing. Welcome. Welcome to my page. To my page. Okay. So we see this now. You see some welcome to our page. Right now you can see we're not seeing it. I'll tell you why. Because it's at the top. This thing is covering it. This button is covering it now. You have to push it down. I'll show you how we are going to push it down. Let me uh let me give more. You see what will happen. Let me give more. Can you see it? Can you see that it's covering it? Can you see that that is covering it? Don't worry. You guys will bring it out from this side. So it means that the nav banner is covering it. Who has a question? Okay. The nav bar is covering it. Okay. So we'll have to use position to bring it out. So now we'll give H5 saying what's there in H5? The developer design. Let's copy this. Okay. Let's copy this. Let me remove this one. This thing is not wrapping. Let me view wrap. border. Okay, so you can see what we're doing. Okay. Auto dots. Then we'll give a div for each of the buttons. Okay. So each of the buttons will be inside one div. Inside this place, will be inside one div having an anchor tag. So we have two anchor tag. So one will be this one, get started. Okay, get started, and the other one is what's our portfolio. So let me copy it. Our
How did
portfolio.
we get this picture? Sorry.
I'm the one that downloaded it. I'm looking at it. I've got this our site. Oh. I'm just looking at what is there. You get. I was the one that downloaded it. So this one is what our portfolio, right? Our portfolio, portfolio, right? Missing a T, right? Portfolio. Yeah. So our portfolio, I think that's it. That's it. Okay, let's go to our CSS. No, no, no. I think one more thing. One more thing. We have to give classes. Hash and hash here. I'll give each of them a class called BTN. Okay. So these are button BTN. I give this one the same class name called BTN. But I want to give another class name for each of them for unique. Like if I want to give this one a different color, right? So this one will be BTN primary. Okay, primary, and this one is going to be uh, BTN secondary. Okay. Yes, please.
Can it be BTN one, BTN two, and stuff like that?
You can, yes, it's possible. Okay. You can do it anyway. Okay. Do you want me to use BTN one and BTN two?
Yes, please.
Okay. BTN two. BTN two. Okay, so I think we can go to our hero section and start it now. Right. So let's do this now. I'll just scroll down and see slash hero. Right. Hero section. So let me open our work now. Okay. So remember our hero section, I'll give an image. Okay. So that image now, I'm using the image background. I did put because I'm making it a background. I'm not going to put image. It's like I'm putting someone's face now. I'm going to make it a background image. Okay. So I'll give you a mean width. Okay. So I'm giving you a mean width now. You see why I'm giving it a mean width. VH. The mean height. Sorry, the mean height and display flex. So let me bring the image. Let me bring the image. Background, background. They're linear gradient. So yeah, you see how this thing you're seeing. It's because of the linear gradient. I've given it some kind of purple something. So that's what this linear gradient is doing. So I give it RGBA, then this bracket here. I give it a 78, comma 87, comma 212, comma then 0.5050. Now we are seeing this purple background. You get. So that's where we're going to place the image. So comma then hash 00. Now you can see that it's matching that kind of this thing. You get. So now the last thing is for me to do is to put the image. So comma. and that's where we'll put the image. So URL. So this is where the image will come in. So the image now is in slash dot slash image, the hero section. You see it, hero image. Now the image should be showing, but right now I'll not see the image because it's very big. So what I'll do now is that I'll um, I will say background position. So background position center. So it's at the center, but now we need to be at the cover. It should be cover. Okay. So background size, cover. So now you can see the image now. Can you see? So you're getting this image, right? I've seen this image. But now let me show you why I'm giving it win height. Let me give it 100 pixels. So what will happen? So now obviously the image has reduced. So mean width height means that I'm saying that the image has reduced. So now what I'll do now is that
I can't hear you.
Can anybody hear me? But I'm not seeing the screen. Is it only me?
I
No,
can
I
hear
can
you,
hear you,
but I
but
can't see screen.
I can also see the screen.
Okay, that was not only me.
No, guys, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh,
Yes, I
I'm
can
sorry.
hear you.
I'm sorry. Having some light also. I was trying to. The Wi-Fi got off, so I was trying to reconnect my phone. Come, give me a second. Coming. Coming, guys. Okay. So let me. Think, is the recording still? Oh, I can start recording. Why? Wait, let me try and see host again. Hello. I'm back. Let me see if I can record now. Hey, still I can record. Wow. Okay. Then that means from here is the live stream. Should I continue, guys? If you don't want us to continue, then you guys will continue it as an assignment.
Please continue.
Please continue.
You guys, you guys don't want me to rest. Okay. Don't worry. You don't want me to rest. The assignment will be big. Yeah, let's continue.
Give us assignment and close. Don't worry.
No, don't worry, don't worry. Even the assignment
Please,
was
oh
my assignment was my assignment would be like continue the rest and finish the pages.
Lord of
So
Jesus. After we told you
it's,
happy
it's easy,
Sunday.
but it doesn't look easy as we are doing it. Yeah.
With you now. So are we going
See,
for
like you have
3 hours?
any. Yeah. What do you say?
Are we going for 3 hours?
Yeah, well, I think we should go more. I think maybe let's continue. Okay, let me see where I can
Mm.
drop you guys. I want to make sure you guys understand this thing. Yeah.
Okay, my phone is at 6%. No problem.
Okay. Okay, so should that means we should end the class?
I don't know, Flourish. What do you think? Messi, what do you think?
Please begin.
Come again.
No, please. Let's just try and get to where we can get to before 8 o'clock. Then
Okay.
we'll not do a little bit. A little, not too much. We'll finish wherever you stop, but we'll not do the other pages.
Okay. Okay, I've heard you.
But we can also see that you're tired, so you can give us the page as an exam, like as an assignment. Just Flourish, what do you think?
Lush is with me. Oh. Should be yet stick and still to we finish it. Let me see. Okay. Okay, maybe I'll just let me just be a bit fast. So okay. But I'll try as much as possible for everybody to understand what's happening. So you understand what the mean height is. The mean height is just basically the same thing, like you're giving it a height. Okay. Yes, please. Messi.
I have a suggestion. If you want to be
Okay.
fast, just explain, like teach the class. Then anyone we don't understand, you can explain later, like tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. 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 So the mean height. Let's go. Okay. Then let me just continue. So remember, I told you that the height normally, if like I'm giving it a height of this thing, maybe I'm giving it 100 VH, right?
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Oh, Flourish is gone. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
So you can see we're giving it 100 VH, right? So imagine what will happen if I shrink the screen to 100 pixels. Let me give it a 700 pixels. That's what will happen now. Oh, yes. Let me. Oh, let's. Uh, uh, see, no worry. Let me just continue.
Okay, you seem
Point left.
very tired. I actually suggest you
No,
rest.
no, no, worry. Well, let me just finish this hero section first, and let's see the way forward. Okay. VH, VH. Okay. So now we're going to VH. Then we'll give a display flex. Why? Because now let me show you why those things at the top. You see why we can bring them down now. So we give it padding top. Okay. We give it 70 so that it will come down 70 pixels at the top. So now you can see the welcome to my page has come down. Can you see? And all those portfolio and things you get. Have you seen it? So now I can now do what? Um, Let me give this my hero section a color. That means the text, those texts will have this color. You get. Eva,
Ezekiel, are you recording?
come again. Am I what?
Are you recording the class?
Yeah, it's live, stream live. But I can record it again. I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
I don't know why the record is not working. But it's live streaming, so you can just watch the live stream. So you get. Okay, so we're using white because of you see how the text is right, white. So now the next thing for me to do is to bring them down, right? Or let me give it a flex first. Let me see what happens. Display flex, display flex. Then item. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Sorry, I'm drawing us back, but what does linear gradients mean?
Okay, so linear gradient is like you're trying to give it a your background a. It's like let me see. You see when you're framing an image, you're trying to frame an image. You have the image now, but like I want to add a color that I'll use to line the image. That means I want it to be like in a frame, but that frame has a a purple color or something. Like I want to design the color of the frame. That's what I've done here. So what I've done now is like the frame. This linear gradient is like the frame. So if I remove this linear gradient, we see only the image. We see only the color, the image. You won't see any color in it. So can you see the image like this? That's how the image looks like. But I want to reduce it. I want to give it some kind of this color. Can you see? A faint some frame in it. That's why I give it a linear gradient. So linear gradient, I can use only linear gradient to design it. I don't need an image. I might remove the image now. I only see my linear gradient. I'll show you this. You get. So you can also use linear gradients to design your. That means you're trying to say purple from here to here has purple. I added some shadow. So I gave some kind of shadow at the bottom here.
Okay.
So it's just kind of way
Yeah,
of
I
mixing
understand
colors.
now.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So now as you know here, we gave a padding top to push. Remember that the image is on top, is inside this navbar. So we give it a padding top to push it down. You get. So it has pushed the content down. You understand? And now we could see the welcome. This is why we can see this welcome at the center is because of we gave it a display flex and align item center. Okay. And we give again text align center. Okay, text align center. So it's going to be at the center. Can you see now it's at the center? So we give a flex align item center, and we give the text align to be at the center. Okay. So without this, it's going to be at the center but at the top. You understand? So we just want to bring it down at the center. So we use align item center. So now we can start doing our move this here. Move it a bit. Okay, so we can see that this. So now we can target our what hero. So dot hero hero content. So the hero content is this one, right? This div. Okay. So hero content h1, right? So our h1 we want to give it a font size of what? Want it to be big, right? So like 3.5 rem. Okay. Then we have a font weight of what? Of 600. Then we give it a margin. So we want it to push it down, okay? So that the text should be a bit down. You can see that the text is down. You can see the text is a bit down, okay? So we say margin bottom, 1 rem, okay? So push these two of them down. You can see, right? Then now we give our h5, right? We give it, was it h5? Yeah, h5. So dot hero content h5. So h5, we give it a font size of what? Of 1.2.25 rem, and give our margin bottom, no, only margin. Give it only margin. So top and bottom will be 1.5 rem, 5 rem. Then left and right, yes. So only top and bottom. Okay. And font size, font width 400. Okay. So I think the next thing, let me see what happened. Okay. So I seen this right. It's too much at the center. I think I'll reduce. I think I'll have to reduce the width. Where is it? Let me let me give it 100 back. Alright, let me just continue. Mm, Let me, what else do I need to do? How to design the button? Yes. So dot hero dot hero dash. I did give it a button. So give here a class name called hero dash buttons. So that's my container. Okay. So dot hero dash buttons. I give it display flex. Display flex. So you are seeing the display flex. Then justify content center. Then we have some kind of gap between them. Okay. So we give it one rem and we give a margin top maybe two rem. Okay, so I have to design the buttons now. So um, okay, so let's design it. So btn, so dot btn, right? So this one will have display. It's already displayed. Okay, okay, let's continue. So display in block. Just remember this in plain block is just for you. It's because it's not a button. Like if it's a button, like remember I told the display in block is just for you to make it beside each other. Maybe you have an element that's a block element to make it uh, inline block. That means to be beside each other. If it's a block element, but by default it's already by this. It's already because we use. It's not even because we use. I don't think button is a block element. Or is it a block element? So if it's a block element, then we can use this display inline block just to make it beside each other. So right now, what I'll do is that we give this, we give each of them a padding of 0.5 rem at the top and bottom and 1.5 rem at the left and right. So right now we're not seeing anything. So let us see something. So dot btn1. So dot btn1 is we have a background color of primary color. Okay, and this one will have a color of dot btn btn2 will have a color of secondary. We give it white because it's using it was white that is the right. Mm. So we give it white. So it means that our text will have a color of what? Will have black. Sorry, our text will have black. hmm And this one will be white. It's already white already. Okay, but we can still give it just in case. But it's white already. Color over white. Okay, so so you can go back to this one. So you can see the padding. Let me remove it so you see. Can you see that there's no padding before? So with the padding now, it looks nice, right? So you can give a come again.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
Okay. So we're giving it a font weight now. It's a bit bolder, and we just give it a text align center. So you should make sure that it's at the center. Okay. And the border none, just in case you shouldn't have any border. Okay. And border radius, we make it 0. So we're not curving it. So it's even solid already. You get it's already solid already. So there's no need for this one. Then just give it a cursor pointer. It already has cursor pointer already. So let me just give it a transition. So transition now, here I'm going to talk about transition. So transition makes it like how you want it to be easy. So if I give it all 0.3 second, then ease. So let me show you. Let me show you. Let me give it 5 seconds. You see what happened? Can you see? 5 seconds when it's taking time like that. Can you see? So if I increase it, still it's taking time for the button to show. So just giving it 0.3 seconds, so it should be fast. You get. And as I when the page refresh to show some kind of nice way. You get. Well, I'll find time for us to teach us about transition. Okay, so I think we are done with that part. So we are done with this. Okay. So we just want to move it up a bit. Let me see. Mm, mm, mm. Mm-hmm. That's gone up. But let's make it bold, bigger. Yes, please.
So in the transition, the is what does the is and all mean?
So I think the ease is like um, it's more of like making it all rounder. That if it's I don't know how to do this. Let me use another one. It's I think we have 0.5 second. We have the ease.
Okay.
We have the ease in, the ease and easing out. So let me try using the easing out. Let me see. Uh, so don't worry. I'll find a time to explain this thing. I just know most of the time I just use it like 0.3 and easing, but all of them have a meaning and how they work. But most of them I only know how the I just know that the easing is just to make sure that it appears in a easy way or something like that. That's it's like you're trying to come in or something like that.
Okay.
But I'll find the time
Okay.
to explain that ease in and ease out. I've not used all this one, that's why I can talk about them. So I'll try and research about the easing and all those rest. But I only use this, but I've not used those ones, the other ones. Most of the times I only use something like this. Um, which transition? So sometimes some people use only the transition and just give it some.
Okay. Okay.
Mm, so I think you are done with this. I'm trying to match this thing. I think the space is too much. The margin is too much between those two texts. Alright, let me move the. Let me move this one. Is the space okay? Let me use pixels. Two pixels. Okay. I think this one is still bigger. Let me make it more bigger. Okay. Smaller a bit. Okay. So, mm, so the next thing now is that adding this about section. Okay. So now you're having an about section and all those stuff now. So now I can create another section called about. So you can create another section here. So we are done with the hero section. So we have an about. This about. It's about section. We have section. We have section. Let me look at it. Okay. Okay. So we have. Let's give it a div first. So this div will be the container. Container. Let's give this ID. Let's give it an ID about. Okay. So created our container. So we'll create a div for this section, for the heading section first. For this heading. See this one. We'll create a div for it first. So a div for. Okay, so what I wrote div for. So I'll create a div called section head, right? Section header. Okay. And we'll have our H1 saying I can give it a class name called section title. Then this one will be called what? About. Right. About. And we now have another D for this line. We'll create a line for it. So I'll give it a div called line. Okay, call it line. So I'll leave it empty. So I'll use CSS to design it. And I'll have another paragraph. Okay. So paragraph. And so the paragraph I can give it a lorem of 50 pieces, 50 words. So this is what we have done. So let me reduce it. Reduce the words. So uh, let me reduce it a bit. Okay. Okay. Okay, so after that, then we have our closing div. Then we have another div for this part. So this one will be in one div, and each of them will have separate div. So I'll create a div for those two things. So a div first, and this div is going to be about the content. Okay, we have a class called about content. Okay, then about content we have first div is going to be about the image. Okay, so about image. So that's all about the image, right? Then so that then we have another div here about the text. Okay, so about text. So we have an history here saying about me. Then we'll have another paragraph on lorem. So this lorem 10. Okay, and they will have another div that will contain all these ones. Okay, so this div we call the features. Okay, they call most of these things they call it features. The feature. Then feature now will start creating the icons and all those stuff. So each of them will be having its own div. Okay, so the first feature will have a div. So we're creating this. So this is going to be one div, and we'll have its element. Okay, so now we're grouping this in one div. So all of them is in one div. So this is what I don't know if I should explain it what I'm doing. So I've created one div for this text, okay, and for the image. So it's containing the image and the text. So this div is for only the image. So now I've created another div for the text, okay. So now I've given the his2, you can see it, I've given the his2, that's here, and the lorem, the text. So now I'm giving another div for each of them. So div now will have its image and paragraph, you get. So that's what I'm doing here. So these ones are icons. So what I use to icons. Okay. So I'll give a class name called icon box. Okay. I'll leave it. Okay. I'll put the icon here. Okay. For now I've not icon. So now let me just put the paragraph first. Put the paragraph first. Then the paragraph I can just use lorem. So lorem 50 paragraph. Okay. So what I'll do now is I'll just copy them. So it's one, two, three, right? So copy them and paste them three times. One and three. So okay, I forgot one more thing. I forgot to give the this thing, the awesome and all those stuff. So I have to put them in the div. I forgot about that. To create a div, let me go back. So I have to create a div to contain those two and this one will have each 5 saying we are also right. Awesome. So this will up there. That's it. That's it. Image. Okay. Give it a bit of 500. Okay. You start using CSS now. Let me bring the. I think I have to. Okay. What did I? Which font did I even use? Which uh these icons? Which one did I even use for them? Uh, the icon. Which icon did I use? Did I use? Yeah. Can't remember the icon I used. Which icon did I even use? Yeah, it was here I copied the CDN. Icon. I've forgotten the icons. But I know that here I copied the CDN. How to find which icon I used to. Okay. This is the CDN. This was the CDN. Problem is I've forgotten where I got the icons. I have to find where I got the icons. Let me put them. You see it. How I'm putting them. So I copied the CDN. That's the link on the icons. So that CDN helps me able to use any of those icons I want. So like this one now, the first one, this way I want to create the icon, right? This div. So first div, I think the icon was I used was the I've forgotten the this thing. If I've I've forgotten where I got the icons from. Okay. Ah, I think I one of them. So you see the icon is showing, but like I've forgotten the where I got the icons. But don't worry, let's just use this one for now. I have to find where I got the icons. Let me let's use let me wait. Send this one to mail. Mail. Mm, this one will be rockets. Rockets. Next class, I'll show you guys how we can get these icons. Rockets. Okay. Okay, let's go to our CSS. Let's do this and wrap up today. Okay. I'll do this and wrap up. Okay, so now create our CS this time saying the about us, right? About section. The about section. Let's see section there on top. Yeah, section. Okay. So now this will be first the container is called what? About content. Yes. So dot about content. I'll do is display flex. Okay. So it will be beside each other. This image and this text will be beside each other. Flex. Can you see now they are beside each other? This image and this text are beside each other. Then I give it a flex wrap. Okay. So that the things will be wrapping each other. Flex wrap. Okay. And justify space between them. Okay. Justify content space between. Space between. So you can see now there's space between them. And give a line item center. So they are the center. Okay. And a bit of gap. Just add gap there to rep. Okay. Let me start the image now. About image. Sorry, image. Image. And this will be flex. I'll give it flex. The flex I'll give it one. So take one and 50 percentage. And I'll give this side to for the content. Sorry, the text. Flex one one of the percentage. Exactly. Then we me with 300 pixels. Let me start styling the top. Delta bounce. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Let's start this one. Let's do about text. About text. Okay, okay. About text. Okay. Let me start out. Okay. About text. About text. Image. Okay. 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 I'm studying the history now. Okay. I just want to be sure what I was doing. Two RAM. What's the most time? I said H2 2 RAM. Let me see the color. Let me see something. Give it that. Ah, okay, okay. What about this? I give it. Didn't I give it? Ah, okay, 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 okay. Okay, okay, okay. Section header. Okay, I've not styled this part. So that's styling this one. Okay. Let me add it here. Let me put it at the top here. So that section header text align center. Mm-hmm. Margin bottom 3 okay. So it'll be space. Okay. Let me see. Section title. Okay. Dot section title font size 2.5 bigger now. Mm-hmm. Then font width 600. This is 600 already. Margin bottom. Mm-hmm. And then take color. dark. This this container. What's the name of it? Dark header. Let me design the line, then I'll let me design that line and I'll push this thing down. Okay. So let me increase the size. Increase the size to what is it? Mhm. Mhm. Says about us. Okay. Now design the line. Design it here. So that line. So the line will be the background color. Background color priming. Finish right now. Okay, so let me give a width and just finish this part. 60 pixels. Height of pixels. So we can see the line here. Now just make it at the center. Margin 1.5 rep. Auto will be at the center. So I think maybe we'll stop here today, okay? So I think I'm taking much time. I don't know if I should give you guys as assignment to complete it though. But yeah, to design anything like this. But anyhow, I'll think about it tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Can you guys hear me? I said that's all for today, okay? So we'll continue it later, okay? We're still almost getting there. We'll continue it later, okay? Or I'll give it an assignment to you guys.
I said okay.